Hello everyone and welcome to the Theimpactplay, impacting more than just gaming. I'm your host and team lead, Muhammad Ali, known as It's Yaku, and we are your one-stop news shop for the latest and greatest across gaming, tech, entertainment, sports, and music. Plus, we're also amplifying voices from those respective fields and having them turn their throat here on the Theimpactplay. Your support keeps the lights running and keeps the content rolling. And this support is over at Theimpactplay. We're tier 2 supporters and above have access to exclusive content, including getting the show ad-free, early access, and so much more. Learn more, become a supporter today on our Discord server for more info. But however you consume our content, wherever you consume it, we are there. So we are currently live streaming on both YouTube and Twitch at twitch.tv/theimpactplay, as well as youtube.com/theimpactplay. Are you giving supporters by using an Epic credit code to the Theimpactplay? We are Epic partners. Every purchase you make within the Epic store, whether it be regularly, Fortnite, or more, no matter what you play, no matter how you play. As long as you play or purchase anything within the Epic store, we do it a commission and we get a kickback, and in just 20 minutes you go out and support the show. And this will also work for free titles as well. Because Epic always has one to three games a week that they give out for free. We even get a little kickback that way as well. So it will not cost you a thing. But this episode of the Theimpactplay is sponsored by Audible. However, me and the team will tell you about that later. This is episode 248, and on the agenda, we have Xbox is backtracking Project Keystone. Xbox Cloud Gaming is coming to older Samsung TVs. An early look at the Splinter Cell remake. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet had the highest pre-orders in the franchise's history. The new Toyota Prius 2023. Is Twitter in trouble? White Lotus has been renewed. Is a new Alien film in the works? Eminem could have starred in a GTA movie. Black Panther Wakanda Forever conquered the box office. AEW's Full Gear. The World Cup is upon us. UFC Fight Night. DreamHack Atlantis Esports Tournaments. An Amazon concert. 2022 American Music Awards. 2022 People's Choice Awards. New and upcoming music by SZA, Roddy Ricch, Pharrell Williams, Nicki Minaj, and so much more. Plus the top stories of the week. So welcome to my very first segment of the show, where we discuss what we have been playing and enjoying essentially what we have been up to. I already felt so. I guess I'll talk about what I have been playing, or what I have been up to lately. So, literally, I guess Brawlhalla is the only thing I've been up to this past week. But that was fun. You can get into a quick match or two, and you just have a fun time. And also, I think the semifinals happened a couple days ago because I was watching that as well. In regards to show wise, I have yet to watch the latest episode of Andor, episode 11. I think it's episode 11, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yeah, episode 11. It's the last episode, the last review guys we did was on episode 10. What else do we have? Oh yeah, right in front of me. I forgot, this came the other day, my Pokemon Violet. So I will be playing it, but during my first playthrough, I will be streaming it here on the Epic Plays Twitch channel. So be on the lookout for that. Actually, yeah, on I might do a simultaneous stream, so both YouTube and Twitch. But I guess just follow us on Twitch, just in case. I only do it to only to Twitch. What else do I have? I have a couple things that I'm working on as well, but I guess I'll talk about that in housekeeping. So, without further ado, let's get into the news, folks, and we're going to, of course, start with your housekeeping. You can sign up for your free 30-day trial and immediately get access to 1 credit. And when you have Amazon Prime, you get access to 2 credits, and it's good for any premium title. Simply go to audibletrial.com/Theimpactplay. Once again, the URL is audibletrial.com/Theimpactplay. Thank you to Audible for sponsoring this episode of the Impact Play. Alrighty, folks. So the first one on housekeeping is, of course, we've been doing a fundraiser for our local children's hospital here in Atlanta, and it is benefiting our Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, which is made possible by the folks over at Extra Life, which is a program of Children's Miracle Network hospitals, and they make a difference in a child's life as little as $1. If you have $1, it'll definitely go a long way. Once your donation goes through, of course, we'll highlight that on the stream, on the show. And of course, if you want to donate anonymously, you can do that as well. But literally, $1 will make a difference in a child's life that needs it the most. Oh, and of course, we've been uploading a lot of content on our YouTube channel. So we have launch trailers, gaming trailers, we have TV shows, the latest and greatest. So you can easily check our YouTube channel for all that. YouTube.com/Theimpactplay. And we also have, you could check out our review cast is finally up. Did I put that away? Oh, no, not necessarily. For Turtle Beaches, give me a second. Atom controller, as well as the Recon controller. So the review cast is up now on YouTube.com/Theimpactplay, as well as your favorite podcast platform. So take a listen, enjoy it on YouTube, and even on Spotify, there is a questionnaire that we have up there to let us know your feedback on that episode, and you can just let us know directly on there, and we will get that. And what else do we have on housekeeping? Yeah, that's the latest. And we were at I was at DreamHack yesterday. I was out there on assignment covering the event, DreamHack Atlanta, by the way, because it's here for the entire weekend, so Friday through Sunday, I mean. But I was there on Saturday covering it all, and hopefully I'll have that edited and uploaded it to you guys hopefully this week. So be on the lookout for that episode coming your way on YouTube, as well as again your favorite podcast platform. It'll be there on podcast services around the globe. So, and we are also on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube Shorts. So you could enjoy our tidbit clips of our live playthroughs of our episodes, and just of our playthroughs as well. So be on the lookout for that content and enjoy it. Follow us wherever you are. And just look forward to amazing content coming from us, from the amazing team here at the Impact Play. All right. So I guess we'll get into the news, folks, and we're going to start with The rest of the news, I should say, with your gaming play. And the first one up is Xbox is backtracking on its upcoming project Keystone, which is their up and coming streaming device. So this is coming over from VGC, Video Games Chronicle. So, Microsoft's head of gaming told The Verge's Decoder podcast, transcribed by VGC, that the company built Keystone and some employees took it home to test it out. It was spotted in a photo of Spencer's office last month. While it worked well, it was proven to be too costly to produce. The console we built that now people have seen Keystone was more expensive than what we wanted it to be. When we actually built it out with the hardware that had inside, and we decided to focus that team's effort on delivering the smart TV streaming app, he said. With Keystone, we're so focused on it, and we can get the right costs. But when you've got Series S at $299, and like during the holidays, you'll get some price promotion, you'll obviously see Series X higher. You'll obviously have Series X higher. I think in order for a streaming only box to make sense, the price delta to S has to be pretty significant. I want to be able to include a controller in it when we go do that, he continued. So it was really just about if we could build the right product at the right price, or if we can't, we can focus the team's effort. How can we focus the team's effort? And we decided to go to the TV app with Samsung, and we're really happy with the results there. Spencer went on to discuss a price range he'd like to hit with Keystone when Keystone comes to market. I don't want to announce pricing specifically, but I think you've got to be 129 to about 199 the price range, like somewhere in there for that to make sense in my view. That we just weren't there. We weren't there with the controller, and I love the effort. The results. The reason it's on my shelf is his team rolled up their sleeves, and in 9 months they built that thing. And a bunch of us took it home, and it worked. It worked really, really well. When you are building new products, it's always about, do you have the right design? Do you have the right user interface? Do you have the right customer proposition? And the customer proposition includes the price, and I think all of us knew that we were a little out of position on price. He also added, not to go into the hardware design, but if this thing stands alone, I mean it's not living in the power source of the TV, and the integrated circuits are already in the TV. You have to do everything bespoke. But we've made some decisions to make it easy. Though think when it is turned on, it looks like an Xbox. Use interface, everything works. But some of the silicone choices that we were making at the time, we were designing, just didn't let us hit the price point that we just wanted it to hit. And in a Wall Street Journal interview last month, Spencer said he still thinks Xbox will launch a gaming streaming device but it could be quote unquote years away. But I guess we'll talk about that now. Of course, we've been expecting this for a while, something similar to Amazon's plug-in device, where it just plugs into the HDMI port on the TV or what have you, and it'll just work. So they were trying to build something similar, and of course they couldn't get the price right. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. But right now, they're focusing all their efforts on the Samsung streaming app, and of course that is our next news story as well, where Xbox is bringing cloud gaming to some 2021. Samsung Smart TVs adding controller rumble support to the Xbox streaming app. Support to the 2021 Samsung TVs will be rolling out throughout the rest of 2022. Owners of select TVs will be able to reach and download the Xbox app right from their TV, and you can connect any Bluetooth-enabled controller to your TV, whether it's Xbox branded or not. In order to stream most games, you will have to subscribe to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. So it's nice that it's rolling out to all the TVs. And yeah, so hopefully it'll be rolling out to not just Samsung, but also to other model TVs, so LG, Vizio, TCL, and what have you. And this one came from GameSpot, by the way. It's the article. Nextly, we have a new update on Xbox Wire that has begun rolling out. It connects your Discord voice channels from your Xbox console. They introduced this update, I believe, last month, but now it's integrated directly into your console. You don't need a phone in order to start the bridge connection. Now you can just do it directly from your console. You don't need any of that. And you could also now wishlist gifting and sale notifications, and Microsoft Store will, of course, update that on you. Will update respectively on your console. And there are improved capture experience for your game clips. And then even enhanced power options and more customizations. And you could also live stream to other streaming platforms. So you have live stream, Streamlab Studio, in addition to Twitch, into their Twitch integration as well. And then Controller Rumble is in beta form now. That is on both PC and Mac. Xbox Assist has been redesigned as Xbox Support. And yeah, that's about it on that update. So I guess we'll keep moving on. That came from the Xbox Wire, by the way. So we have some Splinter Cell news for you folks. So we got a glimpse of the game's upcoming remake. Some new concept art was released by Ubisoft as part of Splinter Cell's 20th anniversary celebration, depicting Sam Fisher in action with those familiar multi-vision goggles, not to mention a particularly enhanced looking integration. And then we have some concept art there, some early concept art from IGN, by the way. We're gonna show you momentarily. So for all of you audio-only listeners, you're definitely missing out if you aren't coming back to the VOD either on Spotify or on YouTube to check out the VOD. Let's see, where are you? There we go. Okay. Oops. There we go. Actually looks, doesn't like look phenomenal, but it's an early look. Okay. But hopefully when it does come out, it'll look phenomenally well. Which may even be years away from here. We might even not actually. I think we might, when it does come out, we might see it be a cross generational title between the PS5, Xbox Series S, X, and whatever next iteration of those consoles are. Yep, that's all we have for you. It's nice that they finally gave us an update after being years in the dark. And we have an update for you on Blizzard suspending its game services in China for all of those folks on the Western Front, to all of our listeners and viewers. So this is coming over straight from Activision, by the way. Blizzard Entertainment announced that it will be suspending most Blizzard game services in mainland China due to the expiration of the current licensing agreements with the NetEase Incorporated on January 23rd, 2023. This includes World of Warcraft, Hearthstone, Warcraft 3, Reforged, Overwatch, the StarCraft series, Diablo 3, and the Heroes of the Storm. Diablo Immortal co-development and publishing is covered under a separate agreement between the two companies. Blizzard Entertainment has had licensing agreements with NetEase since 2008, covering the publication of these Blizzard titles in China. The two parties have not reached a deal to renew the agreements that it's consistent with Blizzard's operating principles and commitments to players and employees, and the agreements are set to expire in January of 2023. We will suspend new sales in the upcoming days, and Chinese players will be receiving details of how this will work soon. Upcoming releases for World of Warcraft, Dragonfight, Hearthstone, March of the Lich King, and Season 2 of Overwatch will proceed later this year. We're immensely grateful for the passion our Chinese community has shown throughout the nearly 20 years we've been bringing our games to China through NetEase and other partners, said Mike Ybarra, president of Blizzard Entertainment. Their enthusiasm and creativity inspire us, and we're looking for alternative means to bring our games back to players in the near future. So that's all it is. It's just a licensing thing. That the licensing is ending, and they're gonna, I guess, look into alternate options, because it looks like they want a lot more than what they initially agreed for in their previous agreement. But this agreement is expiring, so they gotta renegotiate. Of course, that's the point of a negotiation. But hopefully, it won't be offline for too long. And nextly, we have Pokemon Scarlet and Violet had the highest pre-orders in the series history, coming from Games Radar. So we have, as reported by the Japanese outlet, Evercon, and translated by Deep L, the chief operating officer of the Pokemon Company. I don't want to botch this, but Takahito Atsunomiya has revealed that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has sold more pre-orders than any other game in the series' history, a franchise that started over 26 years ago. Speaking at an event and the game's launch in Tokyo, Atsunomiya said that the number of pre-orders has reached the highest level of any Pokemon game in the series previously. He said that the Pokemon Company has shipped 440 million Pokemon-related game units in total since the series starting back in 1996 with the launch of Pokemon Red and Green. And of course, I have Pokemon Violet right here, and I've yet to play it because I want to, I guess, start my newest Pokemon experience with you guys on stream. So be on the lookout for that shit coming your way. And also, he also gave fans an insight into roughly how long they will be exploring players will be exploring the Paldea region. According to the game story, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's main story is expected to take around 30 to 40 hours if you're a Pokemon professional, approximately 60 hours if you're new to the series. I guess, wow, that's going to be a while. 30 hours. Is what it is. But not too surprising. Let's see. So we have another update coming over from GameSpot. We have Volition, the Illinois-based studio that recently launched a Saints Row reboot that garnered a mixed reaction from fans as merging with Borderlands studio Gearbox. The Embrace Group, which owns both Volition and Gearbox, announced that Volition will transition to become a part of Gearbox. The move comes after the Saints Row reboot didn't exactly strike a chord critically, but management at the Embrace said the game performed in line with expectations, even though we know that the reviews did horribly well. So that's all it is. So they're pretty much combining the two, and they're gonna have them focus on other things. No, and of course the Saints remake didn't do well, so why would they leave it separately? But nonetheless, the Unreal editor for Fortnite has been delayed to January. Another one going from GameSpot. The upcoming Unreal Engine for Fortnite has been delayed to January of 2023. Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney announced the move is in response to popular leaker HypeX, who already asked Sweeney about the release plans for the editor in a popular tweet. Sorry, he was quoted tweeting, "Sorry folks, the team is working super hard, but the Unreal editor for Fortnite has been delayed to late January of 2023. That's all we have, but yeah. And we have NVIDIA is being sued over its controversial 16-pin connector coming over from IGN. The company confirmed in a post in its support page that it is quote-unquote actively investigating reports about the 12 VHPWR 16-pin connector cable. NVIDIA notes that about 50 cases globally have been reported thus far. NVIDIA also suggests that was maybe causing the issue, telling readers that the connector may not be fully plugged into the GPU as seen in the image below. So RTX 4090 owners has filed a class action lawsuit against NVIDIA over the company's controversial connector cable. As originally reported by Times Hardware, Lucas Genova filed a lawsuit last week concerning the 16-pin connector used for the company's current high generation graphics card. And of course, the connection cable didn't melt shortly after installing into his PC. And they did. Apparently, the cause of the melting appears to be a design flaw, relating to the high wattage flowing through each of the 16 pins. The legal complaint notes if there is even a temporary break in the electrical connection for any of the pins, too high current will flow through the remaining pins, causing a meltdown. So he's not the only one that is experiencing this issue. So we'll have to wait and see. But currently, I'm gonna share these images for you folks. So you guys, if you do plan on purchasing the 4090 series, or if you have it, I guess keep this in mind. This is where it's not fully plugged in, and this is where it's fully plugged in. So apparently it looks like it's supposed to be off a little bit. It doesn't make any sense, but yeah. Oh yeah, here it is. I see it. The bottom of it is showing a little bit. I guess let me show as a display feature. Hold on, let me take off the window. There we go. Now I can show my mouse. So this is where it's not fully plugged in, because as you can see here where my mouse is, it's a little off. Of course, not everybody knows to check this, because they assume that when they purchase new hardware, it's supposed to work the way it's intended to. Alright, this is how it's supposed to look fully plugged in, without nothing showing. Oops, I kind of messed up. But I'm good. That's what happens when you're a one-man production team. Alrighty, so we did that. Now we have Google has reportedly paid Activision via millions to prevent them from opening their own rival app store, coming from GamesIndustry.biz. So Google has reportedly spent hundreds of millions of dollars on deals with leading developers in an effort to dissuade them from launching their own app stores on Android. The revelation comes from a newly unredacted copy of Epic's 2020 lawsuit against Google, and it has been reviewed by Reuters. According to the site, the document showed that Google paid Activision Blizzard $360 million over 3 years on one such agreement, with another $30 million paid to Riot Games over 1 year. In total, there were 24 deals highlighted between Google and big-name developers, including Ubisoft, Nintendo, and non-gaming app providers. The deals were part of the quote-unquote Project Hug, which has been mentioned but never detailed in previous versions of the lawsuit, and invoked payments for visitations videos to YouTube, as well as credit for Google offering such as advertising and cloud services. According to Reuters, Google said that the deal were to keep developers satisfied and reflect healthy quote-unquote healthy competition. However, the lawsuit claimed that deals were to block rival app stores. For example, the Activision deal is said to have been made back in January of 2020. Shortly after, it told Google it was considering launching its own marketplace on Android. Similarly, the Riot partnership was allegedly designed to stop their in-house app store efforts. So instead of promoting competition, they're trying to prevent competition. It still sounds similar to how Sony is paying, or should I say PlayStation has been paying developers then to prevent their games from being on Xbox Game Pass. But yeah, well, this look anything but uncompetitive. But yeah, I think GamesIndustry.biz for that. And we have 2 former Square Enix employees have been arrested on suspicion of insider trading, coming over from the VGC. Japanese tech site Automation reported that Tetsuki Sasaki and Kumaiki Suzuki were arrested for acquiring stock in Japanese developer Aiming shortly after it was announced that it was working on a new Dragon Quest game. Wow, so we're definitely getting a new Dragon Quest game, another one. The two reportedly purchased around 47 million yen, which is around 336,000 USD. Stock in Aiming just before it was publicly confirmed it was developing mobile title. Oh, it's the mobile title Dragon Quest Tact. Okay. By purchasing the stock before the announcement, the belief is that the pair may have knowingly used insider information in order to later spell the stock again when its value increased. Yeah. So following the arrest, Square Enix made a statement confirming that the pair were former employees and stating that it was working with authorities on the investigation. So that's all we have for you. We have the Backbone. If you guys are familiar, it's a mobile controller that was created specifically for iPhone devices. Now they are working finally on an Android capable device as well, and it's available now. But it's just the original Backbone. But they did state earlier that they are working on a Android version of the PlayStation Backbone as well. Thank you, Engadget, for that. And lastly, we have Overwatch 2 no longer blocks players with prepaid numbers, coming from Engadget as well. So gamers with prepaid phones can finally play Overwatch 2. The Activision Blizzard community manager announced the changes on Thursday, reversing an overzealous anti-cheating move that had made it harder for new players to check out the game. The reversal came in the first-person shooter's latest patch and is effective immediately ahead of the game's free-to-play early access period, which launched on October 4th to prevent cheating and quote-unquote smurfing. So that's good on that front. And of course, I haven't been able to play it yet. Well, I didn't want to play it because I know that it's that it's definitely difficult to get into a match. So I'm gonna wait until hopefully the servers are a lot better than at the state it is now. So I guess we'll move on to your tech play, folks, after this. Alrighty, folks. So the first one up is coming from roadtovr.com. We have HTC has been teasing its next VR headset over the past few weeks, showing off bits of the device at a time when the company promises to quote unquote something big. We mean small. Now it appears the design and some of the specs have been leaked. With the details gathered courtesy of VR analyst and YouTuber Brad Lynch. Info surrounding the headset is still nameless at the time of this writing, was gathered by Lynch from sources mostly in the supply chain. He says Lynch dubs the device the quote-unquote Focus for its apparent coupling of the light and slim form factor of the Vive Flow and the standalone capabilities of the Vive Focus. And we're gonna show you, I guess, supposed renders by him of how it may look like. So take all this with a grain of salt. Yep, that's it. So we have for you. And next up we have Qualcomm has revealed their Snapdragon AR2 processor for glasses-sized AR devices. Where it has dubbed its AR2 as proposed built-in, head-worn augmented reality platform, differentiating from the company's existing Snapdragon XR2 chips. Qualcomm says that the AR2 architecture is better suited for creating AR glasses with low power consumption and compact form factors. So the platform consists of 3 chips: the AR processor for sensor perception and video output, the AR coprocessor for sensor fusion and dedicated computer vision task, and the Wi-Fi 7 chip for communication to a host processing device. By creating a more distributed workload across a main processor and a core processor, Qualcomm claims AR2 is up to 50% more power efficient, while offering 2.5 times better AI performance and a more compact form factor compared to the single chip Snapdragon XR2 solution. All right. And next we have some Twitter updates for you folks. So is Twitter in turmoil? Is it? So we'll have to wait and see. So it looks like we have a program from The Verge. So hundreds of Twitter employees remaining employees have resigned ahead of Elon Musk's quote-unquote extreme hardcore culture reset by the company, according to internal Slack messages seen by The Verge and employee tweets. The fresh purge of tweets ranked comes from Musk's recently fired dozens of employees who criticized or mocked him in tweets and internal messages. Musk said that a deadline 5 p.m. Eastern on Thursday for all employees to respond yes on a Google form if they want to stay for what he is calling Twitter 2.0. Otherwise, today would be their final day of work, and they would receive a severance package. After the deadline hit, hundreds of employees quickly started posting farewell messages and salute emojis on Twitter Slack, announcing that they had said no to Musk's ultimatum. I'm not pressing the button on departing employees posted on Slack. My watch ends with Twitter 1.0, and I do not wish to be part of Twitter 2.0. So it looks like, I guess we'll go into a new one. Let's see. Okay. And apparently Twitter no longer has a communication department to contact for comment. And it looks like the way his ultimatum worked, he wanted to quote unquote inspire his employees to work harder. If you're providing like an unhealthy and unworkable environment, you expect them to stay with you. And of course, the way as soon as he gave his quote unquote ultimatum, half the employees left, and the other half decided, you know what, we're following suit. So and that's where he essentially closed all offices until Monday. And we'll see where Twitter goes. If Twitter does go, of course, I don't know if it will. But we on other platforms. We're on Discord. Of course, you can type exclamation Discord in chat. Click on the Discord links in Twitch, on Instagram, and what have you. If you guys wish to join us there, if Twitter does go. Yeah, and of course, and we have another update for you that Twitter is may not be. They suspended Blue verification because of the I guess the fake accounts that have been verified. Like, what did you expect? Because we talked about this last week as well. And it looks like he's gonna be, and Elon Musk has begun unbanning some high-profile Twitter accounts as well, including, let's see, what do we have here? Babylon B, Jordan Peterson, and Kathy Griffin, and it looks like he's gonna be, and also unbanning Trump as well. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. All right, and next we have Apple will now let you practice sending emergency SOS text via satellite in demo mode, and it's new demo mode. It will let you send text messages to emergency services over satellite if you're in need of help and outside of cell coverage. The company hopes you don't need to use the service, but in case you find yourself hurt and needing rescue in the wilderness, it can be frustrating. So after updating your iPhone 14, you'll need to navigate the emergency SOS section of settings to find the demo. All right, so thank you, Engadget, for that. We have Apple has reportedly plans to use US-made chips starting 2 years from now. And it looks like they're building a new factory, a new manufacturing plant in Arizona, where 60% of the world's processor will be quote-unquote produced. All right, and nextly we have the new 2023 Prius is the most fuel efficient ever vehicle, coming from Engadget. So the Toyota has unveiled the latest Prius at an event at the 2022 Los Angeles Auto Show. And it says the model is the most fuel-efficient entry in the lineup to date. Based on the automaker's own estimates, the entry-level front-wheel drive version of the model has a 57 mile per gallon combined fuel economy rating. The company designed the 2023 Prius, which will come in LE, XLE, and limited grades, with a low grade of gravity, a wider stance, and a lower driving position. Its roofline is 2 inches lower than its predecessors, and it's 1 inch wider than the rear. Toyota has clearly going for a more sporty modern look, aided by the larger wheels on the XLE and limited variants. So other features do include half a dozen USB-C ports and Toyota audio multimedia system with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capability. But it does look pretty neat. Let me show you the, I guess, renders, I should say. It's not bad, but I'm looking for like an SUV when I do purchase a new vehicle. Alrighty. Okay. And we have another update in regards to some self-driving vehicles coming to California. The first one up is Waymo, is one step closer to charging passengers for fully driverless rides in San Francisco. The California Public Utilities Commission has granted the company a driverless pilot permit, which allows it to pick up passengers in a test vehicle without a driver behind the wheel. It is also the second participant in the CPUC's driverless permit program, which Cruise being the first. All right. And nextly, we have Lyft and Motional to offer driverless taxi rides in LA. Lyft and Motionless have announced plans to launch a driverless rider hailing service in LA using the Ioniq 5 EV level 4 robotaxis. LA will be the second city serviced by the two companies, which will start offering public rides in Las Vegas earlier this year. So Motional, which is a joint venture between Hyundai and Aptiv, has been testing on autonomous vehicles without safety features for exactly 2 years. So it looks like we're one step closer to that future. So Meta is this is actually a hybrid article between music and tech. So I guess we'll just talk about it here. So on December 16th, a hyper-realistic avatar of the late East Coast rapper legend Notorious B.I.G. will be holding a concert and performing tracks from his catalog at Meta's Horizon Worlds. The show will be using a virtual recreation of 90 Era's Brooklyn as the backdrop. Will also feature performances by guest artists like Bad Boy Records founder Sean Diddy Combs and a narrative journey of Biggie's life by American music journalist Thor. And everyone's impressed that Meadows bringing an artist back from the dead in Avatar form, of course. And effort was met with a deluge of criticism and hip hop tweets about the project. Many said, however, that it received the blessing of the notorious B.I.G. estate, and the concert will celebrate his life and legacy. Thor, who was in charge of the narrative of the concert, also said he interviewed Biggie's mother and said in her kitchen, so she knows that, quote unquote, he loves her son and he will take care of his legacy. All right. So I guess we'll move on to some entertainment news, folks, after this. Alrighty, folks. So we have some sad news, and we have a breaking news for you folks. So those of you who grew up with Power Rangers in the 90s, with the original Power Rangers team, we have Jason David Frank, which is known as the White Ranger. No, and the Green Ranger as well, I believe, if I'm mistaken. Let me look that up real quick. So he has passed away at the age of 49. Let me just look. Let me go to his IMDb profile real quick. Well known for his role as Tommy Oliver in the long-running family television show Power Rangers. And he is also the voice of Emissary in Transformers Titans, returns and brings blood to life in the highly anticipated Project Nick Jock versus the Valiant Universe. So let me look at his the Red Ranger. So he was the White Ranger in 95. No, hold on. The White Ranger in the 93s, and he was the Red Turbo Ranger in 97. And yeah, I figured. And his latest project was Omnibolt, a fast boat Fantasia in 2020. And he was also the voice of Lord Draken, which was a short Power Rangers Shattered Grid. I didn't know that. And Power Rangers Hyperforce, Black Dino Thunder Ranger. Oh, he was the evil one, yeah, when he was brought back. Oh, that's what he was. Hold on, let me look that up real quick. Lord Draken, right? Let me look that up real quick. So I remember he was brought back as like an evil Power Ranger. Yep, I was right. Yeah, I was right. That was his evil Power Ranger form, I guess you could say, character. But I guess let's go back into this. Came from TMZ, by the way. Wow. Suddenly I heard about this. I heard about this literally before we started the show, and I'm like, oh, that's horrible. And he was also a professionally trained MMA brawler, Taekwondo, Muay Thai, and I was also following him on Instagram as well. And he's survived by his 4 children. Wow, that's horrible. May he rest in peace, and also blessings to his family. Wow, that is horrible. And we also have I guess White Lotus has been renewed for season 3. Coming tweet from HBO. Wow, this is really gonna get to me because he definitely made an impact in many lives as well as my own as well. I grew up with Power Rangers. All right, we have an exclusive coming from Deadline that Jason Tatum has been attached to star in the spy thriller Red Shirt, which is based on an original pitch from Simon Kinberg with David Leitch directing. All right, so nextly we have what's this? We have an exclusive coming over from The Wrap that the Fast 10th film in the franchise's Fast and Furious film of the 10th iteration of the Fast and Furious films. The budget has definitely blown up from its original reportedly 200 million budget to over 340 million. So it looks like this film is going to be phenomenal. So I'll have to wait and see on that. So we have another exclusive coming from Deadline. That the hot directing team Radio Silence will next helm the reboot of the Escape from New York for 20th Century Studios. The picture company partners Andrew Rona and Alex Heyman will produce the film alongside with Radio Silence. And the original filmmaker John Carpenter will serve as executive producer of the film, which is a studio Canon Liberty title. The French company will hold distributable rights in several territories, and the picture company has an overall deal with Studio Canon. And we have another Deadline exclusive. Wow, they've been doing really well with these exclusives. We have momentum is revving up on 20th Century Studios' new Alien movie. As sources tell Deadline, Kaylee Spaeny is in talks to star, and we have Fede Alvarez is directing with Spidey Free producing, and of course that's about it. Nothing is known, and it looks like we'll see the film coming out sometime in 2023. So we have an update for you on the BioShock franchise. So it's going to go from Collider, by the way. After failed attempts to bring the video game's masterpiece to the silver screen, the streamer is now moving full speed ahead on the project with the Hunger Games director, Francis Lawrence, set to try his luck at avoiding the typical video game movie pitfalls. With the recent announcement of his involvement, Lawrence, with Collider's own Steve Weintraub, about the status of the script during the press tour for his upcoming film, Slumberland. He also spoke about why he feels the film can break the dreaded video game movie curse. The script for the film lies in the capable hands of Blade Runner 2049 writer Michael Green. Lawrence says it is currently plugging away at it. Do have been already planning out what will happen in the adaptation, so it's more of a matter of giving the Green the time and space to to get through it. There's a high level of confidence that BioShock is finally getting off the ground with Netflix, as Lawrence explained. All right, nextly we have Rockstar has reportedly turned down Eminem for a GTA film coming from VGC. So according to Kirk Ewing, an agent and the co-founder of virtual avatar app Venme, a late-night conversation with former Rockstar boss Sam Houser also led to the multi-time Grammy-winning rapper starring in a film based on the franchise. Speaking on the Bugsy's Malone's Grandest Game podcast, Aaron recalled, because of the relationship I had with Rockstar and I had with Sam, I actually tracked him down to his hotel room one night, where I knew he was going to be staying for a while, and the two of us stayed up late and talked about the possibility of making a film. This was just after Grand Theft Auto 3, and I think about that point, it was still in Sam's mind that it might be something he wanted to do. He continued, I remember taking a call about 4 a.m. from one of the producers in LA with an offer to make a film. And he said, Kirk, we've got Eminem to star, and it's a Tony Scott film. 5 million on the nose, are you interested? And I phoned up Sam and said, quote unquote, look, you need to listen to this. They want Eminem in the Grand Theft Auto movie and Tony Scott to direct, and he said, not interested. At that point, they withdrew from any conversation about making a film, and they realized that the media franchise that they had was bigger than any movie was going on at that time. And nothing has ever come into fruition. So I guess it could have been something big, but at the same time, it would have been something huge. And back in the day, like now that I think about it, because I didn't really happen to GTA until like San Andreas, so that was like years away from like from this generation, from when this film would have came out. But then again, it wouldn't have made a difference in the franchise. Like the people who would have seen it is fans of Eminem or even just fans of GTA. So it wouldn't have done extremely well, but I wouldn't have impacted the sales of the game because it did phenomenally well. More all these years later, and it's one of the most selling games in history. So I guess next we have Black Panther Wakanda Forever has conquered the November box office with an opening record with $181 million. And with a uh, let's see. So I held number one for 5 weekends. That was the original film back in 2018. Uh, but yeah, kudos to the entire team at Black Panther or Wakanda Forever. Like that film was phenomenal. You can also check out our review cast over on our YouTube channel as well as your favorite podcast platform. So we have another exclusive coming from Deadline. We have Steven Spielberg looks to have found his Frank Bullet. As sources tell Deadline, Bradley Cooper has closed a deal to play the no-nonsense San Francisco cop in the new original Bullet story centered on the classic character famously played by Stephen McQueen in the 1968 thriller, which is set up at Warner Brothers. Cooper will also be produced the pick along with Spielberg, and is producing a partner, Christy Makoska Greiner, with Josh Singer on board to pen the script. And we have Steve McQueen's son, Chad, and granddaughter, Molly McQueen, will executive produce the new film. And we have something coming from Hollywood Reporter. We have James Watt's Atomic Monster and Jason Blum's Blumhouse, which between them have created horror franchises ranging from Saw and The Conjuring to Paranormal Activity and Sinister, as well as countless other hits are in advanced talks to merge. The talks occur in the looming shadow in the upcoming horror movie Megan, but three for the as the letter E, which saw the two men team up as producers. They had first partnered up back in 2007, Insidious, which spawned a franchise that was once a more profitable horror movie made this century. So, alright. And lastly, we have coming from BBC. That we have Millie Gibson has landed the role of Ruby Suni, the Doctor's new companion, starring alongside Nakotia Gatwa. Millie will make her debut on the festive season in 2023 when the 15th Doctor takes control of the TARDIS, or the TRIDIS. Recently, it was announced that BBC and Disney branded television have joined forces to make Disney Plus the new global home outside of the UK and Ireland for future seasons of Doctor Who. So that's it for entertainment, folks. And now we move on to sports. Alrighty, folks, so we have All Elite Wrestling's Full Gear pay-per-view has come and gone. The final major event for the company in 2022, the November 19th event, saw numerous champion matches, and there were some major title changes. After a major brawl between AEW World Champion Jon Moxley and MJF, there was quite a surprise to fans as MJF left holding the title. So we have, for the 0 hour, we have Orange Cassidy, best friends Rocky Romero and Ron Hans one have beat the Factory. We have Ricky Starks took home the world title over Brian Cage, and we have Eddie Kingston has defeated Jun Kiyama. And we have Jungle Boy has defeated Le Chasaris in the steel cage match. We have Death Triangle are the AEW World Trios Championship over the Elite. Jade Cargill has claimed the TBS Championship over Nyla Rose. Brian Danielson has lost against Chris Jericho. For the ROH Championship. We have Saraya has claimed victory over Dr. Britt Baker. Sammy Joe has won the TNT Championship over Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs. We have Sting and Darby Allin has defeated Jeff Durant and Jay Lento. And we have Jamie Hayton have claimed the AEW Interim World Women's Championship over Toni Storm. The Acclaimed have won the AEW Tag Team Championships over Swerve in Our Glory, and MJF are the AEW World Champions. They have defeated, or should I say, claimed victory over Jon Moxley. And we have the 2022 World Cup in Qatar that is taking place today, actually, as of this recording. It's the first winter edition in the history of the competition. Every team must finalize their squads, and the best players in the world now take center stage in Qatar, with action running through the final on December 18th. It's been a long road to get to this point. But after the draw on April 1st and the Intercontinental playoffs getting decided in June in Doha, the schedule was locked in, and now finally the games can commence. So the only games that are taking place today, hold on, give me a second. Did it already take place? Let me see. Oh yeah, it already took place, the first game. So World Cup host Qatar were helmeted by Ecuador on Sunday in the tournament opener as an Ener Valencia lifted Gustavo Alfaro's squad to a deserved 2-0 victory. The win sees the South American lead Group A with 3 points, while the hosts are in big trouble with Senegal and Netherlands to come. The match began with controversy with Ecuador finding the back of the net with a wild little sequence in the box, but VAR shockingly called an offside that seemed very harsh. Yes, it was backed up by the recently introduced automated offside technology, but just 10 minutes later, Ecuador finally got their opener in a well-deserved penalty kick. Valencia was taken down in the box and coolly finished a spot kick for the 1-0 lead. He would add his second before the break with a brilliant powerful header to the bottom left corner of the goal to all but wrap up the win. So kudos to them on the first win of the World Cup. So kudos to Ecuador. And we have England will be taking Iran 8 a.m. local time, I'm assuming. That's on Monday schedule. Senegal will take on Netherlands, and the U.S. will take on Wales. And most of these matches will be taking place on FS1 and Telemundo. Actually, all of them. Well, not all of them. Some of them will be taking place on Fox. But all of them will be taking place on Telemundo, though. All these matches. And we have Karim Benzema participation with France at the 2022 World Cup. And the contest is now over after the Real Madrid attacker suffered injury in his first full training session with the defending champions. The team announced the 34-year-old Ballon d'Or title holder had to withdraw from the Saturday's practice early, which immediately caused concern with this champ's coaching staff. A test at the SPETAR facilities in Doha showed that Benzema has suffered a left thigh injury, significantly enough to rule him out of the French France campaign this winter. So may have a safe recovery. So hopefully the France team will do good without him. Now we have some UFC news. And all the articles are coming over from CBS, by the way, CBS Sports. We have UFC fans who turned in for Derek Lewis versus Sergey Spivak are leaving empty-handed. Saturday night's UFC Fight Night main event was cancelled mid-broadcast after an illness forced Lewis off the card. Ranked heavyweights Lewis and Spivak were the schedule's headliners for the latest Fight Night card from the UFC Apex in Las Vegas. Reports trickled out online during the prelims that the fight may be in jeopardy. All right, we have Bellator 290. So the legendary career of the former Pride Heavyweight Championship fighter Emelianenko will come to an end in 2023. Emelianenko will fight for one final time when he faces heavyweight champion Ryan Bader for the title inside the Kia Forum in England, California at Bellator 290 on February 4th. The card will air live on CBS for the first time. The promotion has been live on the network for the first time. MMA has been live on CBS since 2010. We have UFC 281 results. We saw a new champion rise as Alex Pereira stunned Israel Adesanya late to earn the middle weight crown. Adesanya was in control of the bout 4 rounds, including a late shot at the end of the first that appeared to have the challenger out on his feet, needing a finish to earn the victory. So elsewhere on the card, we saw Zhang Weili gain her crown as women's strawweight champion with a second round submission of Carla Esparza. Weili dominated the grappling exchanges before locking up the rear naked choke. Belly Esparza and Rose Namajunas have now traded the belt among themselves in the last 3 fights. And Dustin Poirier and Michael Chandler delivered an action classic before Pereira secured the late submission. And we have UFC 282 that will be taking place December 10th, Saturday. It will see Jerry Prozaca and Glover Teixeira will have the right challenge of competing for Fight of the Year candidate in 2022. And for the other matches of the main event, we have we talked about Jan Blachowicz and Magom and Kelly are fighting to determine the next challenger for the light heavyweight title. And we have some NASCAR news for you folks. And a widely expected and anticipated move, Joe Gibbs Racing announced Tuesday afternoon that the Ty Gibbs will move to the NASCAR Cup Series full-time in 2023. The 20-year-old grandson of NASCAR Hall of Fame car owner, I should say, Joe Gibbs will drive the number 54 Toyota, replacing Kyle Busch following his departure to Richard Childress Racing. Gibbs' promotion to Cup marks the culmination of his upcoming fast rise through the ranks of NASCAR. In February of 2021, Gibbs won in his NASCAR Infinity Series debut at the Daytona International Speedway road course, when he won 4 races in total and a partial schedule on his way to Rookie of the Year honors. All right, and nextly we have Joey Logdana dominates to win his second Cup Series championship, leading down 188 laps on his way to victory. And we saw number 2 was, I guess second place went to Ryan Blaney, and third place went to Russ Charstein of the season finale of 500. And we have, lastly, we have Austin Kendrick has won the 2022 Sunoco Rookie of the Year honors in the NASCAR Cup Series, book ending as the strongest first year as a Cup driver with two prestigious honors. Kendrick had effectively sealed the Rookie of the Year title by making the NASCAR playoffs, but he was not officially given the crown until the checkered flag in Sunday's season finale at Phoenix. All right, so I guess we'll move on to some esports news for you folks after this. So, hello folks, we have a couple of Valorant stuff for you folks. We have Valorant Game Changer Championship is the first global event of the Valorant Game Changer series. The tournament is scheduled to kick off, has already kicked off, and I guess it'll conclude today as this recording, November 20th. So we have the grand finals are taking place 5 p.m. local time. We have G2 Gozen will take on Shopify's Rebellion. Actually, they did already. Oh, okay, so they already won. So G2 Gozen has won the Valorant Game Changer Championship 2022 for a prize pool, earning them a prize pool of 180,000. And of course, second went to Shopify Rebellion for 110,000. And now we have, let me see. The Valorant, what do you call this? The India Invitational 2022. That is taking place. The grand finals, I should say, is taking place later on today. So we have Heretics will be taking on PPRX. Let me see. Let me look into this team for a second. PaperX. I guess they're already on map 1 through 3 have concluded. And we're just waiting for map 4 to 5 to conclude as well. So we have Esports Club. I should say, multiple esports players and gaming personalities are going to attendance at the arena by TEC for a meet and greet. The arenas will also hosts the New State Open alongside other activities related to gaming and esports. So the esports club is hosting the first ever LAN tournament for the New State Mobile in India, with a total prize pool of 10,000 rupees, Indian rupees, or the equivalent of a little over 12,000 USD. So the arena is being hosted by the esports club and Comic Con at the KTPO Winfield in Bengaluru from the 19th through the 20th. So today we are seeing Jimrish, Jimmy Gaming Garmer, and Rohan Contract Click. All right. And lastly, we have some esports stuff going on at DreamHack, where I was earlier yesterday. So we have for the fighting game scene, we have Smash Bros, singles, doubles, melee singles, melee doubles, Rushdown Revolt. I never heard of that one. Guilty Gear Strive, Guilty Gear XRD Dev 2, Street Fighter 5 Champion Edition, Tekken 7, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, The King of Fighters 15, DNF Duel. I think I just I heard that before. Let me see, what does DNF stand for? Dungeon Fighters. Okay. I closed that. Hold on, give me a second. I closed that other tab by mistake. Give me a second here. Here it is. As for the other esports stuff that's going on at DreamHack, we have StarCraft 2 Masters, DreamHack, I'm sorry, not DreamHack, MTG, or should I say Magic the Gathering, DreamHack Open featuring Fortnite, Smash we talked about the fighting scene, and King of Fighters as well. I forgot to mention that earlier. 15. All right, folks. Now I'm done with sports as a whole. We're now going to move on to the last and final segment, music. Alrighty, so the first is coming on from iHeart. Oh, and I forgot to mention the news sources for the esports was primarily AFK Gaming, as well as for the DreamHack stuff. Of course, it came from DreamHack directly. So moving on, we have Blueface was recently arrested for attempted murder after he fired a gun at a man in a pickup truck last month. We now know more of what has caused the violent dispute. According to a report TMZ published on Friday, November 18th, Blueface and his clique were posted up at the Euphoric Club in Las Vegas on the night of October 8th. While they were inside the club, the alleged victim reportedly approached the crew and made a joke about Blueface talking to some females in a cheap vehicle. Police say that joke enraged him, and they retaliated by attacking the man. The man apparently managed to escape the melee in his pickup truck, but the crew assumed he was going for a gun. That's when Blueface fired shots at the vehicle. The man was reportedly grazed by a bullet in his left hand and bullet marks on his truck. Video footage of the incident that was released earlier this week allegedly shows Blueface with a gun in his hand as he seemingly opened fire at the man as he drives away. And he was arrested for attempted murder with the use of a deadly firearm or tear gas and discharging a gun into a house, building, vehicle, or craft. He was arrested earlier this week and was in custody at the Clark County Detention Center during a hearing on Wednesday. A judge set the rapper's bail at $15,000 and told the court it is likely that the police reporter is going to make that bail. And thank you, iHeart, for that. We have Lil Wayne and Two Chainz, a one-day Amazon Music Live concert coming from Variety. It took place on November 17th by... Hey. Right, here we go. So the new weekly concert series held at the Red Studios in Hollywood was hosted by 2 Chainz and features top music acts performing in a live stream that immediately follows Thursday Night Football. Okay, that's actually nice. I guess I gotta start watching Thursday Night Football for these. And we have the 2022 American Music Awards that are taking place today, actually, later on today. It is being hosted by Wayne Brady. The show will air live from the Microsoft Theater in LA on ABC. It'll take place at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as of this recording. And it could also be streamed on Hulu as well. We have the lineup for the AT&T Playoffs live series of concerts around the championship, the national championship game, college football championship game, is slated to take place at the Los Angeles SoFi Stadium on January 9th and on ESPN at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. The weekend will kick off on January 7th with a show featuring... Oh, no, okay. I thought I meant the weekend. It will feature the Jonas Brothers and singer and songwriter Bayhold. The next night will bring the heat from Pitbull and Grammy-nominated singer Gally. Okay, and we have the 2032 People's Choice Awards. This is coming from Billboard, by the way. So, how do you pronounce her name? Shania Twain will receive the Music Icon Award at the 2022 People's Choice Awards, which are set to air on NBC and E on Tuesday, December 6th at 9 p.m. Eastern from the Barker Hangar in Santa Monica, California. And of course, she will be performing as well. We have Travis Scott will be joining Isaac Yeoman to executive produce a DJ Screw biopic for Columbia Pictures. A subsidiary of Sony is producing the feature-length scripted film under the leadership of Vice President May Ire. November 16th will mark the 22nd year memorial of DJ Screw's death. And we have... This all came from Billboard, by the way. The Hollywood season is officially upon us and set to kick off the most wonderful time of the year. The iconic Rockefeller Center tree lighting ceremony will take place on November 30th. As per usual, they have an all-star lineup, including major performances by Alicia Keys, Jimmy Allen, David Foster, and more. And that came from Billboard as well. We have a Ticketmaster fiasco for Taylor Swift's Era Tour ticket. Coming from Billboard. So Ticketmaster has issued a formal apology to Taylor Swift and her fans following the chaotic ticket sales process for the 2023 Eras Tour. The ticketing giant took place in social media to share a brief apology message along with a link to a lengthier explanation on its website about why legions of Swifties weren't able to buy tickets. We want to apologize to Taylor and all her fans, especially those who had a terrible experience trying to buy tickets. So fans bought out more than 90% of the tickets inventory on Tuesday and Wednesday, according to Ticketmaster, breaking the record on Tuesday for the most tickets ever sold in a single day by a touring artist at 2 million. So, and I love how people were blaming them, but it's not. They weren't prepared for this because they've been operating for. How long have they been operating for? Let me look this up. It was founded in 1976. So over 30, almost 30 years now. And this is the first time that they've experienced this issue. So why are people like, I don't understand that. Like they're like I don't get it at all. The way their mindset is. Like if they've been operating for nearly 30 years and this is the first time ever that the site has crashed, it means something. And they've sold tickets, concert tickets, sports tickets, for a variety of shows, not just concerts. So if this is the first time, it means something that they are reliable. If they've been operating for nearly 30 years now. I just don't like the negativity and the hate around all this. All right, we have Mary J. Blige, as probably will be a child's book author soon when she launches her children's book sometime next year. And we have apparently Harry Styles was hit by a Skittles. And Skittles themselves have reminded, don't throw Skittles at. Do not throw them, eat them. But at the same time, like even before, chicken nuggets were thrown at him on his at his love entourage. So why, like if people are harassing him, and not just harassing him, they're harming him. If you're going out of your way to enjoy an artist and then you complain later on that he didn't perform well, this is why. Like if anything, I would kick them out and I would press charges against them. If I was representing Harry Styles. All right, and we have Blackpink performed at Newark's Prudential Center with Born Pink hits and beloved K-pop classics. Thank you, Billboard, for that. For those two, actually, I should say. We have Snoop Dogg, Teddy Riley, and more have been nominated for Songwriters Hall of Fame, coming from iHeart. And a press release sent on Monday. The Death Row Records owner received the nomination for the Performing Songwriters category alongside Said, Gloria Estefan, Brian Adams, and more. And Teddy Riley was also nominated for a non-performing songwriter. Excuse me. And we have Calvin Harris, that actually performed already because the World Cup already took place. Calvin Harris and Duplo for the opening of the 2022 FIFA Fan Festival. Thank you, Billboard, for that. And speaking of the World Cup, we have BTS, Jungkook have released a new single as part of the soundtrack, alongside. Does it say who else is there? Alongside Nicki Minaj, Davido, and more. Thank you, Billboard, as well. And we have new music coming over from Pharrell Williams and Travis Scott for Down in Atlanta. We have Nicki Minaj, Maluma, and Miriam Fairs and Tokotaka. Oh, that's for the World Cup. For the part of the official FIFA Fan Festival anthem. Sweetie has released a single Life EP. Disturbed has released the Fifth, and Brockhampton has released the new album, I should say, The Family. Has been released by Brockhampton. Okay. And we have Roddy Ricch, his upcoming album has been released. It's a 15-track LP that features Lil Durk and Ty Dolla $ign. Thank you, I heard for that. And we have SZA has revealed the new album, her new album, I should say, Our highly anticipated LP is just a month away. And lastly, we have the top 5 out of Billboard's Hot 100 chart. We have Taylor Swift's Anti-Heroes at number 1. Drake and 21 Savage's Rich Flex is at number 2. Drake and 21 Savage is at Major Distributions at number 3. Be on BS by Drake and 21 Savage is at number 4. And Drake and 21 Savage is at number 5 for Spin About You. Wow. 4 spots. Alrighty, so it looks like that's all we have for you, folks. If you guys are interested in sending us if you guys are interested in sending us a reading mail to be featured on a special reading segment of the show, here's how you can contact us. We want to know your feedback, your thoughts, even questions you may have for us. Sending us reading mail on the Discord server, leaving a voice over Anchor on the Defense, #Theimpactplay, or even via email to readingmail@theimpactplay.com. You may even be featured on a future episode, even a special reading mail segment of the show. So thank you guys so much for making us a part of every day. We should join a community server over on Discord. You can enter Discord and chat now, or by joining us, or clicking on the Discord link on our YouTube or even our Twitch about pages. So guys, we're trying to like subs, and we need your help. Share the channel, follow us when we go live, and just lurk if you must. Share the channel, and just help us reach even more listeners, even more viewers, and expand on our always expanding community. Thank you guys so much. Have a great one, and until next time, folks. Before we go, for all of you Tier 2 supporters, I'll see you in the post show. For everyone else, have a good one.